And we are live. We are back with Demi SEA Weekly number 4. It's meant to be a bi-weekly event, but you know what? We just keep going. We just keep having these. We're back, and joining me is someone who I don't get to cast with too often. It's the beautiful, it's the magnificent, it's the body double. It's Aries.
Yo, well, yeah, I'm gonna be known as a body double from here on out. All's good, all's good.
Thank you so much for joining me, especially on such short notice. I appreciate it.
Thanks for trusting me. Yeah. Well, here we are up on Yaganatha. Starting off the first player, we got StarDuck.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jaganatha LE, we have our first series tonight. We have a bit of a TvP. We have one of the old champions, the best Terran player in all of Australia, representing a Team Mindfreak. It is Seither. All right, so Aries, I know you have a lot of experience with StarDuck, don't you?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's the best experience, but yes, experience with StarDuck, especially in this matchup too.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the reasons why I wanted to jump on this series like as soon as possible is StarDuck. He's beaten Azure before. Like, his PvT is actually pretty good, but there are so few Terrans in our region that, like, I barely get to see it at the highest level. So I want to see, like, can he take out someone like Seither?
I mean, if he's that good in PvT, then why not? Like, he has a lot of... He's quite cheeky, from what I know.
Yep.
He does a lot of kind of quote-unquote funny stuff. Not too sure. Seither is a solid turn.
Yeah.
So it's pretty nice to see what's gonna happen from here.
I was gonna say that, like, I think this is like a really good opportunity for you to, like, I don't know, maybe see how Seither plays, but then I remembered that you're not Terran anymore.
Well, maybe Seither can bring back the Terran in me. I had enough of shenanigans from Protoss. I forgot about Cannon Rushes, but no. It's cool. Interesting.
That's fair enough. Yeah, like StarDuck, I mean, we know him, especially on this channel. We casted him like originally maybe 2-3 years ago, back when he was Diamond. Eventually he went up to Masters. Now he's sitting up here in Masters 1. Yesterday he had a pretty good run. He actually took out Justice Simon in a best of 3, and it was like, oh my god, like that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. StarDuck has improved a lot, like tremendously this past 2 years, and he's a young player from what I know, like really young. He's
still in high school. Or this is his final year in high school. It's like, oh my god.
Exactly. Like, imagine like giving him another few more years, then I can't imagine where he'll go.
Yeah,
at the rate of he's improving.
For sure. I'm really excited, especially because he's been improving so much this year, and at the same time he's been studying, like he's been working on his HSC, or like focusing on his HSC, which is like the final exams of the year, like for school. And he actually had his final exams last week, so now he can finally focus on StarCraft. Like that's what he wants to do.
Good. He sure has the talent, I would say. Well, 2 adepts going in, losing 1. Yikes.
Yeah, he does lose 1 adept at the same time. This entire time the Reaper has been chipping away at this pylon. Jesus Christ.
The Reaper is an MVP. But he saw the tech, so Seither is in a pretty good spot, I think, knowing the tech path of the Protoss.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, right? Like, Seither, he didn't get into the main base. All he could do was get into this small area here, but that's where the tech was. Like, that's where the Stargate was, so it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, he's getting a robo behind it. Is it common for Protoss to go, like, Stargate into Robo
to get both. Like, it's I wouldn't say too much. We'll see what he ends up producing from it, but this push is honestly kind of scary. Like, Seither's here, and I don't think StarDuck spotted the move out at all. Like, he doesn't know.
StarDuck's going for like 1-1-1 kind of thing. One gateway, one Stargate, one Robo. I'm not sure if it's something that's common. Oh, that pylon depower. Losing that pylon depowered the gateway.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough. It looks like the Phoenixes are gonna kill the medevac, which is nice, which actually gets rid of high ground vision, but he scans.
And he has a Reaper. The Reaper is doing a lot of work. Losing 2 pylons. Okay. The Stargate? Starway? Oh my god.
Okay.
Stargate depowered.
Yeah. Honestly, like, that was kind of scary, but I love what StarDuck did, because first he killed the medevac, and then he immediately picked up and killed the Reaper. So, like, then the push was stopped, you know?
Yeah. Without high ground vision, can't really push it. But Seither just wants to be aggressive.
Oh god, yeah, and the problem is that StarDuck's being really greedy because he's got an Immortal, he's working on Colossus, but he doesn't have any gateway units at all. Like, he doesn't have anything on the ground.
The Immortal survives though.
Oh, it did, and he's pulling the boys.
Oh, he got the Immortal.
Oh god, yeah, the Immortal goes down. GG gets called, and Seither with a pretty straightforward win. Like, StarDuck, to be fair, like, I understand, you know, what he was doing, because at the end of the day, you're up against the best Terran player in Australia. But he was being so greedy, like, skipping, like, so much. Because we didn't get to talk about it, but there was a robotics bay done, right? Like, he went straight from Stargate into robotics facility into robotics bay, and it was like, oh my god, like.
Yeah, he just skipped everything. I was cutting corners. He wasn't getting much units except for Phoenixes and like probably 2 or 3 adepts. I mean, it could have worked out if he had the luxury of time, but Seither just wasn't giving it to him.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where, like, if you're playing like StarDuck, you want to be like one of 2 things, you know? You want to be either really like cheeky and like cheesy, or you want to be like really greedy or something, right? Like, you want to get away with something.
Yeah, that's true. Like, playing against a player that you know is known to be very solid, you would want to do something like different. Like, if I were to go up against Seither, I wouldn't go something conventional or like some macro game. I'll get crushed.
Yeah.
I might try something funny, like, you know, I don't know. I can't think of anything right now, but yeah. Get the point.
For sure.
Alright, and now in the second map, it's called Death Aura. It's kind of down 1-0, but let's see if he can make a comeback. Here's StarDuck.
And spawning in at the bottom right hand corner of Death Aura, we have the Terran player, the Red Terran, hailing from the land of Australia, already up 1-0 in this best of 3. Can he advance and later on face the player who's waiting in the next round, which is Mio Micah? Jesus Christ, he's representing Team Mindfreak. It is Seither.
I like how you hyped him up like he's from Australia and StarDuck is not.
Well, look, that's up to you. You didn't mention where he's from. God damn.
I was like, from hailing from land Australia. Right, wait. StarDuck is in Australia to 80? What?
He is. I think something important to note as well, because it isn't really publicized too much in the foreign scene or in the English-speaking scene. At the moment, there's actually an ESL Vietnamese tournament going on. I don't know if you... Yeah. ESL Vietnam, they're running the qualifiers right now for like a Vietnamese-only tournament, which is pretty cool.
You know that?
Yeah. You're like, maybe I could have found like a Vietnamese friend to like marry in or something.
Do I need to have Vietnamese blood or something?
Yeah. It's limited to Vietnamese residents and citizens. But yeah, like I was looking in and I was noticing like, oh, like players like Justice Simon, Thok Lao, like they're all currently playing in that at the moment. It's clashing with this event a little bit, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, regardless, it's pretty cool that ESL Vietnam, they've decided to invest a little bit and run their own tournament.
Yeah, Vietnam has been really pushing a lot for StarCraft or esports in general.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice though, having someone pushing this Southeast Asian scene for esports.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. We're gonna bunker up.
Yeah, Jesus, this is really cheeky. There's a couple of different ways to do this, right? You can either like NG block to try and delay the natural. This time Seither, he's finished the bunker and now it's gonna take so much longer to deal with this.
Yeah, the Reaper too. Like he's been really nice with his Reaper stuff. Like the first Reaper in the last game, the Reaper managed to take out the pylon. Now the Reaper is just being an annoying prick and a hash roll.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, like this isn't gonna kill a lot, but the important thing that this does is it denies all this mining time. Like StarDuck can't send any probes here whatsoever, otherwise they're gonna die.
Yeah, it keeps the Stalker at home. I don't know, is this like something like Protoss would rather have 2 Adepts instead of building a Stalker out that quickly?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really that sure. Well, on the other hand, the Adept has went into the natural of Seither's base and is out. Oh,
yeah. He got a mule. That's pretty good.
Sweet. They're just trading little skirmishes, little blows. Like, I'm gonna scratch you, you're gonna scratch. Oh. Nope. Looks like the Reaper got sucker punched.
Yeah, I think Seither was being a little bit too cheeky, too aggressive with that Reaper. But what's important is that like he was able to deny all that mining time. He got a full scout of the main base. He saw the opening, saw that there wasn't a Stargate.
Yeah, this time he's gonna for Twilight Tech. But does he know it's gonna be Blink Stalkers?
That's the question. I mean, honestly, it's like the obvious answer. Like Blink Stalker openings in this matchup is pretty common for the Protoss, just because it's pretty safe and you can also be pretty aggressive with it. Like you can have Blink Stalkers to help defend against Widowmine drops or stuff like this, stuff like Banshees.
Bam. Well, he's getting a third behind it, so I'm not sure if the Banshee is gonna get denied completely because there's a third base point to defend against from. If it's 2 base, then the Stalkers can just blink left and right. Like, yeah, I've got 2 base to cover. Now I've got 3, and it's not in that triangular formation. It's like one straight line.
Yeah,
but he got Stalkers in position, like at the corner there.
He's already got these Stalkers ready and waiting for the Banshee. Meanwhile, at the same time, we have a pretty big push out. The Observer does spot it, so he does see everything. Will he get ready though?
It doesn't have any detection right now. The Banshee can just go ham on the probes for a while.
Yeah, the Observer, a second one does pop out, so he's going to be able to use that. But the problem is, like, I don't know if StarDuck realized that the push was coming. I don't know if he was able to see it, because at the moment there's only 1 shield battery here. Like, he's getting a little bit too distracted by the Banshee.
6 Stalkers, I think 6 Stalkers can hold against this.
It's hard to say because the bunkers are being thrown down. He does manage to get a cancel on one of them, and like the problem is that when Terran does this, like you need to stop this in the middle of the map. Like you need to force, like you need to chip away at the Marines or like kill the tank or force a siege up or something. But now it's already here.
The bunkers are getting up too. It's about done. And just pure Stalkers, I don't see how they can stop this. Like, even if he holds this, I have a feeling he's gonna lose the third, or like the third is just one base that he can't use. It's just 400 minerals being dumped there.
Do you think he has enough detection?
There's
3 observers here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it out there like 3 observers. Kill 1, I have 2 more.
Oh god, I'm just gonna feel so bad if like 1 scan gets used and all 3 die. Like.
If he splits it up, he could just lose like 1 per scan. Like, oh. I don't know how he's gonna break this. Like, he has Stalkers and just 1 Immortal against 3 bunkers and 2 siege tanks.
Yeah.
It's not in the
It's
position
not,
that he would like.
yeah, it's not looking too pretty, like, especially because he did overreact with the observers. Like, this could have been like one extra immortal, and with one extra immortal, that's huge. You can deal so much damage. You can focus down some tanks, you can focus down some of these bunkers. It would have been a little bit easier earlier on, but now he's all here, and I mean, he's going in.
He's gonna go in. Oh boy. What do you think that he can do from here, honestly? I don't really know. Immortals and 4 stalkers?
Yeah, I think there's nothing, right? He loses his natural, the natural goes down. Now he's separated from his third base, so that could go down. He's trying to warp in some charge lots to get a nice surround, and like if he had enough charge lots, sure, he could do something, but only 4, like it's gonna be rough. Looks like he's going for a counterattack.
Yeah, like the bunkers now is like tower defense. Like, yeah, it's very hard for StarDuck to break through, but he doesn't need to worry about the banshees anymore. Being cloaked, he has like so many observers anyways.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the Zelda, they're doing some decent damage. Like, Seither was being pretty greedy on the other side of the map, but again, like, it's fine because StarDuck is stuck on 1 base essentially, maybe 1.5.
1/3. Maybe. 2 quarters, 3/4, 1/4.
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
my brain today.
There's a lot of long distance fighting going on. Ooh, he recalls to get to the other side so he can go for a surround.
It's not a surround if your units are still coming up from
well,
one
he's going
side,
for a look. He's trying to get on top of the tanks, and you know what? He gets 2 tanks. There's only 1 left, so he can focus it down. And now it's just the bunkers and the Marines.
The Marines are just gonna play whack-a-mole on the bunkers. Like, oh, you kill this bunker, I'm just go to the other one. Ooh. He managed to catch the reinforcements. That's really nice. So the Marines are essentially stranded, in bunkers.
Yeah, honestly, this entire thing, like, this was a really nice move. Like, StarDuck, like, we were both saying, like, yo, what can he do? This is what he does. He recalls his army. He goes around outside of he breaks through the contain, essentially, and he's just gonna try and go for the base trade.
Oh, yeah. This is not something that I would guess. Like, these are things that higher level players would really do. Like, things that I will not actually do. I'll just like, YOLO! Oh,
yeah.
Shit. I lost my entire army.
It's like, what could I possibly do to maybe win? And he's figured like a way to deal damage, but at the end of the day, like, Seither, he didn't stop his macro. Like, he had plenty of units here rallied to reinforce his third, and he does push it away. Meanwhile, all the Marines on the other side of the map did get cleaned up, so now he can maynard over to the third base. So
is that the natural?
Yeah. the unnatural natural.
Yeah.
No, good.
He's doing a good job though. Like, he's holding on really nicely with Zealots and Immortals and stuff, but I think the Widow Mines are just too much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a couple of Marauders, a couple of Widow Mines. Maybe there's enough here to hold, because again, a lot of the supply are in these medevacs, so they're not helping out that much, but oof. Yeah.
He's actually getting very good trades for StarDuck. But the macro is just overwhelming. The unit production.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing much that he can't really do. He's really low on money too.
Like, StarDuck, he's been running on fumes for a while, and GG. Seither, of course, kind of expected. He is the, I believe he's the champion, the current reigning champion of Demi SEA Weekly. He takes the win 2-0.
That's a quick 2-0. Now, maybe I might be playing Terran then.
You're like, you know what? I'm inspired. I want this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna build bunkers and just go tower defense and on Protoss. Like, open Banshees, tower defense. But it's really ballsy to go like, I feel. Moving out with a couple of Marines at just 1 siege tank with like 3 or 4 SCVs at that point, and having 2 Banshees. Like, normally I would wait until 2 tanks, but it was the right call. He managed to do what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I love Seither's opening because And because of what StarDuck was doing, ideally you make your first like wave of stalkers, and then you push out across the map, and then you have like 4 stalkers outside the natural. And then when Seither pushes out with his army, like they get spotted by those stalkers, and then slowly they get kited away, and then Seither loses a couple of marines here and there. Maybe he's forced to siege up his tank, and StarDuck is able to get ready for it. Yeah, exactly. It's so important to delay that push, but because he was so defensive, because he was, you know, he had to keep his stalkers at home to get ready for the Banshee, like he didn't have the supply to do that, right?
Yeah, he couldn't move his stalkers, so he couldn't do anything about it. Like, so basically the army of Seither just got that green light and like, let's just go walking across the map. I know your stalkers are there, I know that there's nothing much on the map. What's the most that you can do is probably just an depth, which I think got sniped. And there wasn't any map visual on StarDuck's map, StarDuck side. So, YOLO.
Yeah, pretty much. And GG. Like again, StarDuck, I still think he played fairly well. Like he was able to make a game out of it, especially game 2. Like he was in a really rough position, but you know, he was able to make some moves happen, able to get around the army and try and do something. Again, he still has a little bit of a ways to go, but I'm excited to see what happens in the coming year.